Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be continuing on with our C# programming tutorial series. In this particular tutorial, we are going to be taking a look at the StringBuilder class in C# with .NET. Now, let me go into Visual Studio Code here. So what is the StringBuilder? Well, a string builder is a way for you to more efficiently do string manipulation. Now, the string type does provide many different string methods that you can apply to do specific string operations. However, those only exist for doing small, limited numbers of operations. If you need to do large, if you need to do large amounts of string operations, then you're going to want to use a string builder instead. Okay, so that's why I'm covering this topic, because they do come in handy. So, how do we create a string builder then? Well, to create a string builder in your program CS file, go ahead and type capital S string builder. We'll call it builder equals a new string builder, like that. Now, you can also pass it a string, and in most cases that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to pass the string builder a string. So let's say this is some kind of string. Okay. Now, what if we want to try to get some of the properties of this string builder? Well, there's a few that you can take a look at. In particular, the one you're going to use most often is length. So if we go ahead and we say int, we'll say size, we'll set that equal to builder.length, like that. Okay. Cool. Now we can print out our size. So console right line size, like that. Save that. Let's go ahead and go into our terminal, and we'll say cd desktop. Okay, and we can say cd test app, cd test app, and then .NET run. And when we do that, we get 27, which is the number of characters in our string inside of our string builder. Now, let's move on to some of the methods that you can use with a string builder. Well, let's say you want to get the string that is the result of all your different string operations on the string builder. Well, to do that, we can use the toString method. So go ahead and define a string variable. So string, let's call it str, equals builder dot toString, like that. All right, and we can print out this string. So console.writeLine. Okay. Okay. And we can say str, save it, and we can run it again. And we get 27, which is the length of our string, and then we get this is some kind of string printed out as well, because that is the content of the string builder. That's the string stored inside of it, inside of that string builder. And that's pretty nice. That's pretty neat. But what if I wanted to insert something into a string builder? Well, we can do that by using the insert method. There are many overloads of insert, but I'm going to show you one in particular that is probably the simplest one you can get, and that's just an integer and a string. So we can say builder dot insert, and we'll say 0, and we'll say hello, comma, world. And we'll put a new line character in there. And we'll put a semicolon at the end of that line. Now, if we save our code and we go back to the terminal, we can say .NET run, and we get 27, which again is our length, which is the initial length, I should say, of our string builder. Then we insert hello world and a new line character into the string builder. And now we have hello world. This is some kind of string. Perfect, right? So what exactly does insert do then? What is this int parameter we just used? Well, the integer parameter here specifies the index in which you want to insert a specific string that you give it. So because we made the int parameter for this insert method a 0, that told string builder insert the given string at the very beginning of your contents. So that's what that did. It's like arrays, it starts at 0. So keep that in mind as you go forward. Now, what if we want to append something to the end of our string builder's content? Well, to do that, we can use the append method. Again, like insert, there are many overloads of append, but we're going to use the one that just takes in a string. Pretty simple. If you want to check out the other overloads for this, you can go to the documentation and look at all the different methods that you have there. We'll take a look at that here in a second, but go ahead and append some sort of string to your builder by saying builder dot append, and we will append, we'll say this is some appended string, and we'll save that. Go ahead and run your code again. And there we go. We now have our, this is some appended string appended to the end of the contents of our string builder. Now, before we go forward, I'm going to show you the documentation. So it looks like, all right, so what we'll do, we can say StringBuilder C# documentation. Okay. We'll skip to the main content here, and here we go. Inside of our Microsoft Learn documentation, you can see the definition of it. You can see some examples of how to use it. We got some remarks here as well. Let's see here. We have different constructors that we can use. And then here we have a table full of many of the properties you can use. And then right below that, we have a table of methods. So I'm going to go down to, you can see all the different append overloads that we have here. I'm going to try to go down and find the next method we're going to take a look at. It's way down here because there's a lot of methods in this class, and many of which are overloads. Okay, here we go. Now, the next method we're going to take a look at is replace. And we're going to use a simple version of this where we just give it two different strings. And what does this method do then? Well, we're going to reference the documentation for that to kind of give you some practice. So in the table, the description of the replace method is that it will replace all instances of a specific string with another. Okay, so let's go back into Visual Studio Code. And let's go ahead and replace this is sum with nothing. Okay, so we can say builder dot replace this is sum and replace it with nothing. Let's go ahead and save this. And then we can not go into the documentation, go into the terminal, and we will run our code again. And there we go. So now every instance of this is sum with a space afterward is replaced with an empty string. Now the string just looks kind of strange for our contents of our string builder, but that's okay. I wanted to demonstrate to you how this works. All right. So next we're going to take a look at the remove method, and we're going to reference the documentation for this one as well. Because again, I want you to get plenty of practice in for reading the documentation. Let's see. Okay. So I want to try to find the right one that we're looking for here. So we got equals. Okay, so I guess there isn't a way to remove strings, but that's okay. We can use other bits of code to do that, but those are just some of the string builder methods. There's, obviously there's many overloads of these, and there's a few that we didn't take a look at, like equals, as well as various other properties that we didn't take a look at, such as capacity and max capacity and stuff like that. But that pretty much does it for the basics of StringBuilder to kind of get you started. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.